he ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walter Bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Why it's so important that they want to use that interview is because it aligns perfectly to what YNW Bortlen's proffer deal will reveal, where it goes and reads, as predicted, YNW Bortlen took the plea deal. He has also agreed to a proffer, which means that he's talking. The sentence is to accessory after the fact, and he'll do 10 years plus 6 years of probation, minus any credit in gain time. We've already requested his deposition in a civil case, where academics would then explain what this truly means. He would write, the judge says on both charges, YNW Bortlen pled no contest. To that, he has to provide a factual basis for him to accept the plea, meaning you have to tell an actual story of how you indeed committed accessory to the crime, which confirms that the crime occurred, which YNW Melly is charged with. This is a gonna plea, except with the proffer, he can't say yes ma'am, he's gotta sing like Franklin.
I did tweet out saying people are upset. I said this is a gonna plea. This is a gonna plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a gonna plea. Why do I say he signed a gonna plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they have proved, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortlen, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, what that proved is that Bortlen worked with someone after he acknowledged that a took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know they were, and then secondly, how do we know who did it? Because they said it was a drive-by.
A much easier way to understand academics' message is that Bortlen is required to tell how the crime went down from his own perspective, being somebody inside of the car. Regardless if he says Melly's name, when he tells the police that Sack Chaser and Juvie was affected by a situation that happened inside of the car, then YNW Melly will be found guilty. He doesn't even have to say Melly's name. It would even get the attention of a famous lawyer who would go and react.
All right, let's talk YNW Melly and YNW Bortlen. He is now doing the triple Lindy. For those youngsters that don't know what the triple Lindy is, it is when you do several flips off a high dive, and he will be flipping. He is going to be tell-all about anything he knows about the double case, and they will know if he's telling the truth or telling a lie when he gives his full quote-unquote confession as to what happened that evening. And that's what happens. A lot of times where guys are in prison for 4 or 5 years awaiting trial and looking at a life sentence, and they're offered 10 years where they'll be home probably in another 3.
Yep, these are retarded little dudes who will snitch with a smile on their face. And some of y'all old niggas too.
Years that he'll serve, he decides to flip and become a cheese eater. And that's what happens a lot of times on these cases. And I was expecting it to happen a lot sooner than it did. He held out for quite some time. But long story short is it looks like he's going to flip. And it makes the case on YNW Melly, depending on what he says, which I anticipate he'll say that YNW Melly is responsible.
Now, the white dude who is sitting there talking, he got a smile on his face. He's enjoying this because he knows it's a big old circus show, you know, and he know a lot of these guys are just pure idiots, man. And on top of the fact, it's a lot of white folks getting money, big money off this case. You know, I can't even be mad at these white boys, man, because at the end of the day, we just got to quit being dummies, man. You know, and pretending that we're tough, knowing that we're going to snitch or go to prison and become some sissy.
However, at the end of the hearing, YNW Melly's lawyers would try to get him released from jail. Today it was announced Florida rapper YNW Melly was targeted inside of his jail block today. Sources claim that he was targeted for commissary goods and/or block authority. Oftentimes, when someone comes into a new jail block, they either go after the biggest person or the most popular to make a name for themselves. But here's where it gets strange. You may remember when YNW Bortlen accepted his plea deal, an email leaked within the lawyers reading, "Given Mr. Henry's plea deal and proffer agreement, we request his deposition as soon as possible. Given the circumstances, we are concerned for his safety, so would like to facilitate it in the next 30 days. Please advise if you will continue to represent all of the defendants," meaning the prosecutors think that Bortlen was going to get caught lacking in his cell block before delivering an incriminating proffer against Melly. But in all reality, it was YNW Melly who was targeted. Investigators believe that this was all planned. In case you didn't know, YNW Melly is close to receiving a house arrest or a bond agreement. He was so confident about it, he even ordered a $100,000 chain to wear for when he gets out.
I would assume
still,
that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry and you're not here to wear the jewelry?
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend
That's
money
what
on.
bro. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, there was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like, he don't even want the chain no more.
Knowing Melly had a high chance of being released from jail, being able to get him while he's still in a cell block where everyone knows where he is was the best case for whoever is going after him. He has a high chance of being released due to Melly suing the county jail and exposing them. It was shared. YNW Melly sues the Broward Sheriff's Office for cruel treatment and is seeking immediate release from prison. Melly claims they have not allowed him to see or speak with family in 3 years. As described by Melly himself, he's been living in a freezing cold jail cell with no edible food or human contact.
Now, YNW Melly, you know those folks ain't taking you serious at all. Okay, I get the fact that you sued. You're asking for immediate release, but you're still sitting in damn jail. Man, they look at you, YNW Melly, as the old school. You like one of the old school buffoons.
To me, doesn't who pick who he fight with. Right. Like if you sit there and you go, oh, I'm not going because this. I think I can take him.
Believe people play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence and intellect. You know, the way they do today. You know, people are telling lies for a living.
When it comes to loyalty, Tony Yayo don't play. Word hit the streets that Jay Prince might have been trying to move funny behind the scenes. Some wild talk about industry pressure and extortion plays involving 50 Cent, and Yayo wasted no time stepping up. The minute his name and 50's legacy got dragged into that conversation, Yayo went full Queens mode, letting the world know one thing loud and clear. Nobody's extorting G-Unit, nobody's pressing 50 Cent, period. It all started after some behind-the-scenes chatter popped up online. Blogs claiming Jay Prince was using power moves to keep certain rappers in line, hinting that 50 might have been one of them. The story blew up fast. But if you know 50's history, you know that don't sound right. The man built his career on not folding to anybody. So when Tony Yayo saw those headlines, he went off. People close to him said he made calls instantly, checking who started the rumor and making sure the message was clear. 50 Cent ain't the type to get extorted. He's the type who exposes the extortionist. Yayo even jumped online dropping hints, posting cryptic messages about real ones move in silence but stand loud when disrespected. Fans instantly connected the dots. The street started talking. Was this aimed at Jay Prince? And if so, was G-Unit ready to go at Rap-A-Lot? That question alone had the internet buzzing.
Maybe we need to change the word for the youngsters. The checking in part, you know, is they seem to get hung up on that word, checking in.
Yeah.
So if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing.
Right. What's the word, OG? What's the word?
Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get connected.
See, Yayo's not just a hype man. He's 50's right-hand soldier. From the early mixtape days to tour fights overseas, he's always been the one standing next to 50 when things get real. So when people start whispering that someone's trying to test 50, Yayo takes that personal. It's loyalty over everything. And this time, he wasn't letting the disrespect slide. Insiders say Yayo even reached out to folks close to Prince's circle, basically saying, whatever y'all think y'all about to do, cut it out. We not the ones. That message spread fast, and it hit the blogs even faster. Suddenly, everyone was talking about how Yayo ran down on the situation, not literally in violence, but by making it known that 50's camp wasn't tolerating no behind-the-scenes manipulation. By the end of that week, the rumor had flipped. Instead of people asking if 50 got extorted, they were asking if Jay Prince just made the wrong move by mentioning 50's name at all. And when 50 finally posted a photo with that signature smirk, no caption, just money and champagne, fans knew exactly what he was saying without words. He ain't folding for nobody.
Stuck on stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. You know, we all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever, yeah.
But I mean, it's a...
Now, to really understand this tension, you gotta look back at how far it goes. 50 Cent and Jay Prince been orbiting around each other for years. Both respected, both feared, both built their names on power. But their worlds never mixed well. Jay Prince runs Houston's underworld of hip-hop, a quiet boss who moves in codes. 50 Cent runs New York's empire, loud, strategic, always 10 steps ahead. It was only a matter of time before those energies clashed. There's history there too. Years ago, rumors floated that Jay Prince tried to interfere with one of 50's business deals. Some say it was music-related. Others say it had to do with boxing promotions. Whatever it was, 50 didn't like the pressure. Back then, he brushed it off publicly, but those close to him said it left a bad taste. 50 don't forget disrespect, he just waits for his moment.